and the statement is in regard to the increase in the total cost of construction of the Nairobi Expressway by 7.6 billion shillings. Senator Professor Margaret Kamar is the speaker presiding over this afternoon sitting. I'm now handing over for the live broadcast. Enjoy your viewing.
Prayer. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor and blessings as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberations in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Take your seats, honorable senators. Honorable senators, please take your seats. Honorable senators, there is a petition to the Senate concerning the recruitment, remuneration, and termination of early childhood development ECD teachers in Nyamira County. Let me allow the two members to sit. I see the Senator of Nyamira here. For the sake of the Senator of Nyamira, let me reread the petition. The petition to the Senate is concerning the recruitment, remuneration, and termination of early childhood development ECD teachers in Nyamira County. Honorable Senators, I hereby report to the Senate that a petition has been submitted through the clerk by residents of Nyamira County and members representing Early Childhood Development ECD Teachers Association of Nyamira County concerning the recruitment, remuneration, and termination of early childhood development ECD teachers in Nyamira County. As you are aware, under Article 1191 of the Constitution, and I quote, "Every person has a right to petition Parliament
to consider any matter within its authority, including enacting, amending, or repealing any legislation. Honorable Senators, the silent issues raised in the petition are as follows. One, that there have been cases of unfair labor practices by the Nyamira County government against ECD teachers. A case in point is where the ECD teachers employed in the year 2014 were unlawfully terminated after serving for 6 years. Two, that there has been arbitrary stoppage of stipend and emoluments entitled to ECD teachers. This has led to discriminatory practices on remuneration of the teachers, which in turn has resulted to poor performance and resignation of teachers. Three, that there has been disparity in payments of pension from LAP fund and no gratuity has been paid to teachers terminated by the county government. Four, that none of the ECD teachers have been confirmed on permanent and pensionable terms by the Nyamira County government since the inception of the scheme of service for ECD teachers and ECD Act of 2018. Five, that the petitioners have made efforts to have their concerns addressed by the Nyamira County Assembly without success. The petitioners therefore pray that the Senate intervenes in the matter with a view to one, recommending that the ECD teachers who were unlawfully terminated are employed on permanent and pensionable terms by the Nyamira County in accordance with SRC guidelines, and two, recommending that the ECD teachers whose contracts were illegally terminated to be fully compensated by the Nyamira County Assembly. Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 231, I shall now allow comments, observations, or clarifications in relation to the petition for not more than 30 minutes. Yes, it has started working. I will give Senator Mogeni last. So let me start with Senator Zani Agnes Philomena.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The issue of ECD management and teachers across the county has been an issue of great concern in this House. And we have had recently a statement that was brought by Senator Wambua really dealing with the same issue. I think it really cuts across all counties. I thank the petitioners who have brought this petition to the Senate, because this is a matter that needs to really be interrogated, including, for example, the remuneration that is given where there's such variation. For example, for those who have certificate qualification, for those who have diploma qualification, and those who have degree qualification. Indeed, Madam Speaker, the variation across the counties in terms of payment in itself is problematic. There has been a scheme of service that has been in draft form, and as Education Committee, we've been trying to push that this scheme of service be properly implemented. And there seems to be a situation where, for example, if COG, together with TSC and KICD, come up with a collaborative framework to ensure that this is properly applied across all the counties, it'll help to address some of these issues. Madam Speaker, the scheme of service talks not only about the remuneration of these teachers, but also this petition raises the issue of pension, for example, and how that is handled across each of the counties. We need, at the end of the day, Madam Speaker, from what the petitioners are saying, to have a way to deal with the budgetary allocation. The budgetary allocation for ECDE that is given to the counties has mainly been through conditional grants. These conditional grants at one time were removed in the last allocation, suggesting a need to ring-fence those funds within the counties, which also has not happened. So you find that the county assemblies have to find a way to ensure that the money that goes as one main kitty into the fund can be allocated for ECD. Madam Speaker, another issue is that many of the counties are also going beyond their mandate within the counties in giving some of the money that might have been used for ECDE into other projects within the counties. And an inspection of these would help to find out what money is ring-fenced for ECDE, and then that money is specifically used for ECD classrooms. There's an ECDE bill from this House, and it creates and gives very clear specifications about how to handle this whole area. So this petition is coming to this House at the right time, because despite the various questions that have been asked, including the statement that was raised by Senator Wambua recently and the interrogation with the various stakeholders, we still have an issue that it keeps coming. In fact, Madam Speaker, I would suggest that by the time the report from Education Committee comes to the House, that report is interrogated at a committee of the whole, so that it gives a chance for all of us to see what the issues are and to interact with the stakeholder. A quality assurance, a rigorous process for quality assurance would enable us to establish these problems and be able to handle them in good time. So I congratulate the petitioners, and I think this is another effort at really streamlining, because ECDE is one of the sectors that is devolved, a very important component together with TVET into the counties. And it is the basis of education, especially for the young children who are starting off, and the basis for their development and their educational output in the long run. So I think the petitioners have properly contextualized this petition into this Senate, and gives us another opportunity to interact to ensure that this sector finally gets streamlined. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Sorry, Senators, I didn't talk of time. 3 minutes, because we have about 10 of us, including the chair. That's when I include the chair. Senator Nderitu John Kinywa.
Asante sana Bi Speaker kwa kunipa fursa hii niweze kuchangia kwa hili lalamishi. Mambo ya walimu wa chekechea imekuwa ni donda sugu, Bi Speaker, kwa sababu mshahara wao inakuwa ni kulipwa kwao ni kama jambo ambalo halijawekwa katika daftari zetu. Inakaa kana kwamba ni jambo linafanywa kiholela. Unapata ukitembea sehemu nyingi humu nchini, unapata wale walimu wa chekechea hawashughulikiwi na lolote. Mshahara wao haulipwi kwa wakati unaofaa. Mshahara wao ni hela kidogo sana ambazo hawezi kutumia kujikimu kimaisha, na wao tunawategemea zaidi kwa wanafunzi wetu ambao wanaanza kujifunza. Na ikiwa wanapopewa jukumu ambalo ni jukumu nyeti katika maisha ya watoto wetu, ilhali serikali zetu hazilipi chochote, wamekuwa kisumbuka, wamekuwa kihangaika. Ukitembea kama Laikipia, Bi Speaker, utapata ya kwamba wanaweza wakalipwa mwezi huu, wanakaa miezi 4 hawajalipwa, ilhali wao wanafanya kazi yao kwa ushujaa na werendi. Kwa hivyo vile ambavyo ningependa kuomba ni ya kwamba kaunti zetu ziweke pesa, zitenge, ziseme ya kwamba Kenya mzima, ikiwa ni walimu wa chekechea, wajulikane watalipwa pesa kiango fulani, isikue kana kwamba wanalipwa kiholela. Ukitembea Laikipia wanalipwa 10,000, ukienda Nakuru wanalipwa tofauti. Kwa hivyo vile ambavyo ningependa kupendekeza, nikikubaliana na walalamishi, ni ya kwamba mambo ya walimu hawa yaangaliwe kwa undani, na ikiwa ni masuala yao yakuwa yanaangaziwa, ukipata walimu wa chekechea, hata mtu hana ile tiba, hana ile tiba ambayo anaweza akaangaliwa na serikali. Kwa hivyo vile ambavyo ningependa kusema, na kwanza hawa COG iwekwe vizuri, ndio kuwe na kulinganishwa wote. Ukitembea ni Isiolo, Lamu, ukuje Laikipia, mwalimu anajua nikiandika katika shule ya chekechea nitalipwa kiwango hiki, marupurupu yangu ni yapi, ikiwa ni mambo ya nyumba, kwa sababu wale ndio wanaanza kufundisha watoto. Kama ni mambo ya kutohoa majina, wao ndio wanafunza. Kwa hivyo tunapaswa pe kipao wakati ambapo tunashughulikia wale walimu, kwa sababu wao ndio wamefanya sisi tufike hapa, na wao ndio wanaendelea kutengeneza mambo ya elimu kuanzia pale chini kabla hujaweza kujiunga na hii mambo inasemekana CBC. Asante Bi Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Faria Haji.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You know, I am shocked that somebody who has been employed from 2014 is being dismissed just like that. There are no laws in this country. And what is the motive of this person who is dismissing them? Who are they trying to create space for? I remember when we passed the new revenue that included the additional money from the national government, I thought the least county got 200 million. So even if there was no any other money, surely that extra money should have been used to pay these teachers. Why is it that, you know, even the petitioners, what they are requesting, I think it needs to be amended, because they need to be reinstated, not to be employed. Because if they are re-employed, that means they will lose all their benefits in terms of pension and everything. Madam Speaker, what I don't understand in our counties is that governors have become, I don't want to seem to say they are the lords of the counties, but they are just taking themselves close to that. Have they forgotten that this money that they are enjoying, they got courtesy of the votes of those people whom they are trying to make their lives difficult? Madam Speaker, the other thing is, I thought ECD teachers are the most important teachers. Because imagine, even potty training a child has its own challenges. It's so difficult. Training a child from the basics until they learn how to read or memorize things, that is somebody who should be taken care by everybody. Otherwise, if this is the kind of treatment they get, that means that we will have a generational gap, people with a generational knowledge gap, which I don't think people of Nyamira deserve that. And I want to ask the House, actually normally when you refer things to committees, so because of this electioneering period, they tend to take a lot of time in terms of dealing with these issues. I want Madam Speaker, can I have your attention? Madam Speaker, can I have your attention? My time is finishing. I just want your attention, because given the kind of work we have and the time people have in terms of the legislative work vis-a-vis campaigning and all that, I think you should direct that this petition is finalized within time frame, so that this House does not go home when this matter has not been resolved. And my question is, if these teachers have been dismissed, who is teaching these children now? And what is the interest of the governor in terms of this decision? Actually, if it was an earlier time, this should have been an avenue to impeach that governor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Aniri George.
Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity, and let me at the very outset thank the petitioners and just give them comfort and assurance that their petition is in the right place. This is the House that will look into this petition and ensure that justice is done. Madam Speaker, ECD is a devolved function. And the ECD stands for Early Childhood Development. Early childhood development is the beginning point of education for children. Now, you cannot be nurturing these children into education sector with teachers who are not motivated, not well remunerated. Mr. Speaker, as Senator Faria correctly puts it, if there are any group of teachers that should be well taken care of, then it is the ECD teachers. Madam Speaker, I thought that the teething problem, because this is now a devolved function, it's a new thing, would just prevail for about the first 5 years, and by now this matter should have been resolved. But it's unfortunate that what is happening to the ECD teachers in Nyamira replicates in the whole Republic. I have the same cases, exactly the same cases in my own county, and I'm sure many, many other counties. Madam Speaker, there shouldn't be a disparity in remuneration of these teachers. I know very recently, as a Senate, we passed the ECD bill, which I don't know if it's taken effect. It's now an act. It was given an assent by the President. But I'm informed here by Senator Zani that even with the bill in act, this issue will not be resolved until there's a proper scheme of service which is supposed to be developed by the Council of Governors. The Council of Governors, yes, is supposed to be uniform for the entire Republic. I therefore, Madam Speaker, just want to say this, that Senate being the House in charge of devolution, the committee where this petition will be forwarded to or committed to, besides looking into the salient issues and the prayers that were made by the petitioners, that is a reinstatement of those who were sacked or whose contracts were terminated, they must ensure that the COG is pushed to develop a scheme of service for ECD teachers so that there is no disparity in remuneration amongst these teachers throughout the country. I sympathize with the petitioners and urge the committee to expedite this matter and ensure that these petitioners from Nyamira get justice. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Cherargei. Samson Kiprotich.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to support petitioners from Nyamira County, and it is very sad. I don't know where the law is, because how can you terminate a person? I think this is a violation of labor issues, and the governor and the county executive must be told so. It is very unfortunate, and Nyamira, Madam Speaker, is not unique. Even in Nandi, we have similar problems. For example, an ECD teacher is paid 10,000 shillings. What can you do with 10,000 shillings without other benefits? And you know, ECD teachers, Madam Speaker, are the basis, are the foundation of our children who will go to schools. This is the basis of the society, Madam Speaker. So it's unfortunately in Nandi County, the county government pays them 10,000 shillings without any form of allowance. The other day, Madam Speaker, the governor called all ECD teachers to an hotel, told them, if you give me nominations in April, I will review your terms in June. This is not, we should not go to the direction of using stick and carrot or a privilege, Madam Speaker. It is very unfortunate, and I want to say, in fact, Nyamira is better. Nandi is worse. Because how can you tell people, you vote for me for nominations, then I will review your terms, Madam Speaker? It is very unfortunate, because that's a clear violation of labor. And Madam Speaker, governors should be told, in no uncertain terms, that anything they give out to our people is not a favor. It is not an handout. What Governor Sang of Nandi is doing handout. He just called them, sang to them campaign songs, gave them some chakula, told them if you, and when the ECD teachers wrote them and give us pension, permanent and pensionable, Madam Speaker, And I'm told your county is also working through the hard times, Madam Speaker. It is very unfortunate, Madam Speaker. I think governors must be told, and that is, these are some of the governors that are giving bad name to devolution. And Nandi governor, Stephen Sang, is one of them that is giving them bad name devolution. Because people are saying it is better to be hired by TSC. In fact, you have made ECT teachers nowadays are telling us, why does TSC not hire us? Because of what we are doing. How can you give somebody 10,000 shillings, Madam Speaker? What can they do with it? And it is very unfortunate. I hope the governor of Nyamira must be summoned to the Senate and tell the country, because we passed the ECD law, Madam Speaker. The ECD law was supposed to protect our ECD teachers, Madam Speaker. And what is happening in Nyamira, Madam Speaker, Senator Okongo Mugeni took over from me. One of the issues that were bedeviling Nyamira County, we were listening at that time, was issues of corruption. And corruption does not mean only investment of public funds. Even this is corruption, Madam Speaker, where you are firing somebody after 6 years. Where will they take their children? How will they pay their school fees? How will they survive, Madam Speaker? How will they pay their rent? So Nyamira County Executive must be called out. And it is unfortunate that the current governor, who should have been better, is performing more worse, Madam Speaker. We must call out, Madam Speaker, and tell them. And when Nyamira County Executive, Madam Speaker, is invited to the House, it must be made committee of the whole. Because even Nandi County ECD teachers have similar problems that we must share, Madam Speaker. And I want to say I support this petition and want to look at that we must make serious recommendations against county governments that are violating and abusing labor rights of our ECD teachers. I raise my case and support, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
County. And I want to say, Honorable Speaker, that what is happening in Nyamira is happening in very many other counties, Honorable Speaker. It is sad that ECD has a silent role to play in the life of children, but it is not given preference when it comes to money allocation. Honorable Speaker, we cannot take education matters for granted, and education matters a lot, and since education matters a lot, we have to make it right from an early stage. You cannot plant a tree and when it comes from the soil, it's bent, and you imagine one time it will straighten. So when it comes to matters education, it must be straight all the way from early childhood. Honorable Speaker, I'm a member of the Education Committee, and I want to let this House know that the issue of early childhood is an issue that we've addressed many times with the county governments as Committee of Education. The governors have appeared before us, and even the Council of Governors appeared before us just recently to address the issue of ECD. But the revelation we got is that county executives are not keen about early childhood, and I think because they feel that when they invest in early childhood, it does not give them political mileage. But I want to say on the floor of this House is that we cannot politicize education, and we must have it right, and as a Senate, we have to ensure that county executives are doing the right thing. And Honorable Speaker, when it comes to even SRC, it is unfortunate that the package that SRC has recommended is very wanting. But it's because of the job description that came from the stakeholders. There's need to review the SRC policy on early childhood education. And even apart from reviewing, Honorable Speaker, I want to say on the floor of this House that if the county governments are not able to handle ECD, we cannot transfer our function, so that ECD is a function of the national government, and it should go also with the monies, because the national government normally allocates a lot of money to county governments, but the county governments need to prioritize ECD, because ECD is a function of the county government, so that in the annual budget they have also monies to pay teachers, they have infrastructure and all that. But it's unfortunate, Honorable Speaker, that even the recommendation and the schemes of service that was approved, there are many counties that have not implemented the schemes of service. And even in the schemes of service, it is unfortunate that teachers will get 8,000. ECD teachers get 8,000 per month. It is very painful, because teachers are actually the parents we have in schools to be role models of our children. So there is need, Honorable Speaker, to really, I know our Committee of Education is going to give a report on the floor of this House concerning the findings we got, but it's the same finding that
Time up, Senator. Thank you. Senator Mudama Agnes Kavindu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this petition from Nyamira. Madam Speaker, I want to say that whatever is happening in Nyamira is not only happening in Nyamira alone. It is happening around and across the country, in all counties, because these teachers are really underpaid and they are never motivated by anyone. Today, if you walk in a supermarket with 10,000 shillings, you just do a shopping and you just walk out carrying it with your one hand. And this teacher is supposed to feed our children, pay their school fees, and do everything that any other person is doing as they work, because we work to help our family members. Madam Speaker, I concur with them and I say that these teachers must be taken care of. And even not only the teachers, even in some counties, the ECD classes are not there. You'll find, like an area I went to in Machakos County, and I found the ECD teachers had requested a chief's office to be used as an ECD classroom. And Madam Speaker, there is money which is allocated for this purpose. And most of the governors are just, they don't care. And Madam Speaker, children of ECD, how they begin, how they are brought up will determine what they'll become in life. So this is a very sensitive issue, and Madam Speaker, I say that the committee that you're going to commit it to must check and even go as further than just the teachers, but check on where the ECD students are being taught from, if there are classes for ECDs. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you,
I
Senator.
support.
Senator Matsayo Stewart Mwachiro.
Asante, Speaker. Speaker, kwanza nataka kutoa kongole kwa walimu ambao walijitoa mhanga kuweza kufundisha watoto wadogo katika skuli za chekechea. Tunaelewa hichi ni chama cha walimu wa skuli za chekechea, ni wanachama wa kile chama cha walimu. Speaker, japokuwa hawa ni watu wa chama, lakini kuzingatia harakati zao ni kwamba waliweza kuachishwa kazi. Speaker, ni jambo la kusikitisha sana kuleta hali ya uchumi mbaya kwenye nyumba za walimu. Walimu hao wana taaluma ile ambao haina wale walimu wengine. Wanaanza kufundisha watoto ikiwa bado ni wachanga sana, hawajajua chochote, hawajajua kusoma. Kwa hiyo ni walimu ambao wanatakana kupewa heko. Lakini jambo la kusikitisha leo tukiona ya kwamba mahali kama kaunti ya Nyamira wanaweza kufuta walimu hawa ambao wanawaelimisha watoto wao kwa sababu ya nia zao binafsi, kuweza kuweka walimu wengine ambao wakifikiria kwamba hawa walimu hawana haki zao. Lakini Speaker, nataka kusema ya kwamba hawa walimu waliofutwa na wamefanya kazi miaka 6 wana haki mbele ya sheria za wafanyikazi. Wana haki ndani ya hii bunge la Senate kuona ya kwamba haki zao hazizami na zimetekelezwa. Bunge hili la Senate tunalo bahati kwa sababu katika hichi kitengo chao cha kwamba wameachishwa kazi, mmoja wetu ikiwa ni mimi, nilikuwa jaji wa mahakama kuu, hasa upande wa wafanyikazi. Kitendo kilichofanywa cha kuwafanya hawa wafanyikazi kupoteza hii kazi yao, Speaker, ni jambo la kusikitisha. Na hivi sasa wako manyumbani, hawana kazi, wanateseka, wengine wana watoto, na vile vile kufutwa kwao kazi sio kwa sababu ya wao kupenda, lakini kwa sababu ya mtu mmoja ama watu wawili watatu mabepari walioketi ndani ya ile county wakaona ya kwamba katika maoni yao hawa walimu wanataka wanafaa kuondolewa kwenye kazi. Tunasema hilo si jambo la usawa. Speaker, hii ni taaluma, ni taarifa muhimu kwetu sisi, na kama hii ni taarifa muhimu kwetu sisi, ile kamati ambayo inahusikana, ambayo inaweza kuangalia jambo kama hili, iweze kuona ya kwamba haki imetendeka kwa hawa walimu, na hata ikiwa itawezekana basi kuregeshwa kazini pia waweze kuregeshwa. Asante Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Githua Ngugi Isaac.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also want to add my voice on this matter because it's a weighty matter, Madam Speaker. And it's a big shame that the county government has decided not to do their job that they were given by the people of Nyamira. Madam Speaker, all of us are here today, or who we are today, because our teachers, when we were learning how to read and write, those are the people who ensured that they taught us even how to hold a pen. And all of us, I don't think that there's any one of us who can say that they never experienced such a thing. And it's extremely inhuman that a whole county government that has budget can decide to destroy the future of those young people. Because what is happening, Madam Speaker, they are destroying the future of those people. A lot of at that age, that's where someone is shaped. Someone's destiny is shaped, even in terms of how they think, the kind of thinking that they have. If the teachers are demoralized, there is no way they can be able to give 100% to those children. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I want to say that it's extremely shameful, and especially coming from a governor who is perceived to be in Azimio. Us in Azimio, we don't subscribe to such kind of thing, and we want to say this: it's a shame to him. And moving forward, those are the kind of people that we don't want to have in office. I can see someone laughing here, but even the next government of Baba, those characters should be very far from office, and therefore very far. And when they are called here, Madam Speaker, in the committee of the whole, they should be grilled properly. There is no way somebody can be sleeping hungry, yet they are rendering services. Here the county government has budget for that. Therefore, Madam Speaker, we need to be firm on this matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Pokisho Lesuron.
Madam Speaker, let me also weigh in on this by joining colleagues who have contributed with, first of all, the courage by the Association of ECD Teachers from Nyamira, who have raised the petition. And again, it's their right. Madam Speaker, this petition could have come from any of the 47 counties. There is no exception. If everyone to narrate what's happening in their counties, you'll be shocked. In my own county of West Pokot, 6 months, even more, the ECD teachers have not received their salary. And you wonder why they're being treated like that. Fortunately, Madam Speaker, we have discussed here, we brought a bill, there's a bill that came here on ECD, and hope that that will change the way things are going to look like. I think there should be a standard for ECD teachers. I didn't go to a nursery school of ECD. During my time, there were no ECDs. I think they were there, but I don't think we managed to get into any of those. But I really think, Madam Speaker, that it's very, very important, very, very important that we focus on these ECD teachers. My thought is let the committee that is going to deal with this take up this matter, because it affects all counties, no exception. So take it seriously, and let's address this matter once and for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Finally, the Senator of Nyamira.
Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I first want to thank these petitioners who have brought the plight of the ECD teachers in Nyamira to the attention of this House. First, Madam Speaker, if I can expound on what is the problems and troubles that these teachers are facing, is that other than talking about their termination, these were teachers who are employed on contract. In Nyamira, we refer to them as ECD Phase 1 teachers. And Madam Speaker, when their contracts came to an end and they were not given a renewal, legally they were entitled to be paid gratuity, Madam Speaker. But as we speak today, Madam Speaker, these teachers have never been paid. And Madam Speaker, as senators have stated here, these teachers earn 13,500 shillings. But for the last more than 2.5 years, they have never been paid. As you know, Madam Speaker, we had a misfortune in Nyamira. We lost our governor, the late Mzee Nyagarama, and the deputy governor took over as governor. You know, Madam Speaker, if you saw, there is a pay slip that was going around social media. He was paid arrears for all the period he was acting as a governor. He was paid, and he was paid good money. Something you cannot compare with what the poor ECD teachers are asking to be paid. And Madam Speaker, I'm the one who knocked the table there, invoked the name of my mother Nyamokami, fighting for 600 million shillings to go to Nyamira County, money that they ought to have, which was being taken from Nyamira to go to other counties. And I can't understand why the governor of Nyamira, Honorable Nyaribo, cannot pay these poor ECD teachers and even renew their contract so that they can serve in Phase 2, Madam Speaker. We even had discussions with the MCAs that they budget so that there is money provided for to convert these teachers into permanent and pensionable. Up to date, Madam Speaker, nothing has happened. Madam Speaker, we don't send money to counties to go into people's pockets. You heard the Senator of Nandi giving reference to the many corruption allegations that have been forwarded to this Senate concerning that count of Nyamira. Madam Speaker, it is so sad that as senators we sit here, we spend many hours negotiating how we should share money to counties. But when it reaches the counties, it never serves the purpose it's meant to. That is to pay teachers like these ECD teachers, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I hope that this House is going to summon the governor for Nyamira to appear before this House, explain, number one, why he has never paid gratuity to these ECD teachers. Number two, to explain to the House why he has not converted the terms of these teachers to be permanent and pensionable. And I hope he will deal with this issue before he arrives here. And I'm asking my MCAs also, these are the motions we want to receive on the floor. We deal with them properly. Because if you cannot, Madam Speaker, have sympathy for Kenyans who are earning 13,500, which I'm told is money at times that is budgeted for the lunch of executives. It is inhuman. In labor practices, these are what we call unfair labor practices, where you want to oppress the poor, the lowly, from your position as a chief executive. I hope, Madam Speaker, this matter will be given the seriousness it deserves, and we are elated, and the committee that will be tasked should remind the governor that, as Senator Aniri mentioned, we passed the ECD Act. I used to serve in the Education Committee, and I'm aware that it has been enacted into law, so it is law. What we require is governors to put the interests of our ECD teachers at heart, pay them well, employ them under permanent and pensionable terms so that they are not subjected to suffering. Finally, Madam Speaker, we should look for a way of finishing this matter once and for all. And the best way, Madam Speaker, to do so is to summon the Council of Governors to appear before the Senate and collectively give an undertaking to the House that all county governments will put in place a good scheme of service for the ECD teachers in all the 47 counties, because you have heard even what is happening in other counties like Nandi. So I hope that the committee that will be dealing with this matter will summon Council of Governors to appear before us so that we agree on the best way forward on how to address the plight that is facing ECD teachers. But I support, Madam Speaker, this petition. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 2321, the petition should be committed to the relevant standing committee for its consideration. In this case, I direct that the petition be committed to the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare. Honorable Senators, I'm also aware that we have similar petitions from other counties, including my own county, Uasin Gishu, and we would like to direct all of them. Bomet has been handled by the same committee, so we hope that this committee will seriously take time to look at these petitions so that we don't have to read the others. But looks like in the whole country, a lot of ECD teachers are sending their petitions on these very items. Honorable Senators, in terms of Standing Order 2322, the committee is required in not more than 60 calendar days from the time of reading the prayer to respond to the petitioner by way of a report addressed to the petitioner and laid on the table of the Senate. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Leader of Majority, Senator Bogisho.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate today, 2nd March 2022. 1. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kirinyaga County Assembly Mortgage Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 2. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement Kirinyaga County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 3. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kirinyaga County Executive Alcoholic Drinks and Substance Abuse Control Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 4. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kirinyaga County Emergency Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 5. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Rukanga Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 6. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Isiolo Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 7. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Isiolo County Assembly Car Loan Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 8. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Homa Bay County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 9. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Homa Bay County Assembly Car Loan and Mortgage Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 10. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the Homa Bay County Education Bursary Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 11. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Vihiga County Assembly Car Loan and Mortgage Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 12. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Vihiga Municipal Board for the year ended 30th June 2020. 13. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Vihiga County Trade and Enterprise Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 14. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the Demonstration Farms Fund, KISI, for the year ended 30th June 2020. 15. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Gusi Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 16. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Embu County Assembly Car Loan and Mortgage Members Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 17. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the Embu County Youth Trust Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 18, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Siaya County's Education Bursary Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 19, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Siaya County Assembly Car Loan and Mortgage Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 20, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kisumu County Car and Mortgage Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 21, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kisumu County Assembly Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 22, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kisumu County Education Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 23, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kericho County Alcoholic Drinks Control Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 24, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Meru County Investment and Development Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2020. 25, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Meru County Alcoholic Drinks Control Board for the year ended 30th June 2020. 26, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Meru County Microfinance Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2020. 27, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Meru County Assembly Members Car Loan and Housing Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 28, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Marsabit County Emergency Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 29, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kericho Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 30, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kericho County's Executive Staff Car Loan Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 31, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kericho County Agricultural Sector Development Support Program 2 Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 32, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kericho County Enterprise Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 33, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Sibo Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 34, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Migori County Executive Car Loan Mortgage Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 35, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Tharaka-Nithi County Emergency Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 36, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Ngagaka Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. And 37, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Imeda Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. And I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable Senators, the first notice is by Senator Abshira Alake, but she has sent word that we should defer it to tomorrow. She's not in a position to. So the next one is by Senator Architect Sylvia Kasanga.
Madam Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion that whereas Kenya is a multi-ethnic and multiracial country with rich and diverse cultural resources such as traditional medicine and foods, arts, craft, music, dances, dress, among others, aware that the Constitution in its preamble acknowledges the cultural diversity of the Kenyan people, who are determined to live in peace and unity as one indivisible sovereign nation, whilst Article 11 of the Kenyan Constitution recognizes culture as a foundation of the nation, noting that while the Department of Culture under the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Heritage has been playing some of the key roles in promotion of cultural integration, formulation of policies and standards that will guide the development of culture, little information has been made available to the Kenyan public. Acknowledging that culture performs a significant role in the life of a child, the cultural background in which a child is brought up affects the totality of his or her life's activities, and concerned that our children are losing their sense of identity due to negative influences, due to inadequate cultural identity catalyzed by globalization, which has led to catastrophic consequences to our next generation, as experienced in our country, where a majority of our young people are showing symptoms of feeling suicidal, anxious, feeling of hopelessness, anger, violence, feeling isolated, and paranoia. Now, therefore, the Senate urges the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Sports, Culture and Heritage to formulate cultural development policies and initiatives to inculcate stronger community values, safeguard Kenya's heritage, recognize local heroes, and promote socio-cultural opportunities in the counties. And 2, formulate strategies to create an enabling environment for protection and promotion of diversity of cultural expressions in all counties. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable Senators, we have statement passed on to Standing Order 47-1, and the first one is by Senator George Kaniri.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. I rise pursuant to the provisions of our standing order.
Senator Wario, are you on request or on a point of order, because you have not pressed the right button?
Thank you, Speaker. I am on a request. I wanted to comment on the cultural things, but you went ahead and gave another statement.
Oh yeah, she was giving a notice of motion, so it is coming back.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah,
thank
was
you.
Just a notice of motion, Mheshimiwa, so it will come back. Senator Aniri.
Thank you. I can see Senator Wario is really eager to go on the culture motion. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to our provisions of our standing order, number 47, paragraph 1, to make a statement regarding the unfavorable balance of payment status of Kenya in the international trade. Madam Speaker, Kenya is an important player in the global international trade. It is an important gateway to East Africa through the port of Mombasa, and is set to play even bigger role through the Lamu port, South Sudan, Ethiopia transport, that's the LAPSET corridor project. Other important international trade partners to Kenya in terms of volumes of goods and size of transactions are China, which is the leading one, Madam Speaker, number 1 on the list, Britain, United States of America, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, among others. Madam Speaker, in the year 2021, Kenya's total export earnings stood at 739 billion Kenyan shillings. This is in the year 2021. Madam Speaker, this is quite impressive and goes to show that we have very good potential as a country. However, Madam Speaker, what taints these impressive figures is that 60% of these export earnings was spent in importing China-made goods alone, not including imports from other countries that Kenya trades with. imports from China alone hit a high of 441 billion Kenyan shillings in the year 2021, a 22% jump from the previous year, and this has been a continuing trend. Madam Speaker, this means that Kenya paid China alone 60 shillings for every 100 shillings it earned from selling items like flowers, tea, coffee to Europe to buy Chinese products such as electronics, textiles, household goods, etc. Let us not forget the additional 107 billion shillings in debt repayments to China in the period, effectively raising the total forex outflows to Beijing to 74% of our total export earnings. 74%. It is evident in these figures that something needs to be done. Cheaper imports from China, which includes industrial and construction machinery, consumer and capital goods, electronics, clothing items, and commercial vehicles, have edged out local products and imports from other countries in recent years, dimming the growth of Kenya's industrial sector. This has in turn caused a lot of unemployment in the country, since the share of jobs in the economy has fallen. Madam Speaker, Kenya has tried to put effort in exports to China through agricultural produce such as avocados, but this has proven difficult because Beijing has imposed such stringent measures in receiving imports from Kenya in order to control the fruit fly pest. This trade imbalance between the two countries is a major factor in Kenya's widening trade deficit. This is not only unfair, but also not a good way of creating good partnership and encouraging inter-country relations. Madam Speaker, I have said it over and again in this House that Kenya is a very blessed nation. We have very many natural resources, manpower, and skills at our disposal. Why is it then that we end up spending so much money importing goods and services which we are capable of providing for ourselves? It is a shame to see our youth languishing in poverty and wasting away because they have no way out. We have the ability to empower our youth to do the very jobs that we are outsourcing. Through this, we will not only promote our industries, but also remove our people from the grips of poverty and hopelessness. Madam Speaker, one of Kenya's biggest imports is petroleum. In the year 2012, there were plans to start a petroleum development levy, a stabilization fund, and to build fuel tanks as long-term solutions to fuel importation. How far are we with these plans? It is a shame that we spend billions of shillings on resources that we as a country have the capability to produce and provide for ourselves, while our people die in poverty. When we outsource the Chinese to build our infrastructure, they come with their own manpower. Madam Speaker, even China is doing everything possible to empower their country. Why can't we follow suit? I am certain it is not because Kenyans do not have the ability, but because we have not provided the proper opportunities and conditions for them. Look at the companies such as those in the EPZ. They produce high-quality clothes, which they export to other countries. These same clothes are then imported back to the country at double the price that they were exported. The same happens to agricultural products such as coffee. This shows that truly we have the capacity to be self-sufficient in some sectors of the economy. In fact, most sectors of the economy. Madam Speaker, it is time to start promoting our own industries. We have to start having faith in our own products and services and take great pride in them. We need to drastically reduce our imports and take Singapore as our benchmark in terms of self-reliance. We need to build more technical universities and encourage our youth to take technical courses by changing the negative and derogatory image that most people have about manual laborers. Let us start building our own houses and stop outsourcing and subcontracting foreigners to do the jobs for us. Let us do all we can to be self-sufficient and self-reliant. Counties are pivotal in realizing this dream, as has been shown by some counties. God willing, this is one of my agenda when I take over the governorship of Vihiga after the next forthcoming general elections. I encourage also other counties to follow suit. Madam Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Senator. The next statement under 47.1 is by Senator Gertrude Musuruve Inima. Yes, what's your point of order, Senator Kasanga? Although you are pressed, a request, not a point of order.
Are we not, Madam Speaker, will you give us an opportunity to give some comments on that statement from Senator Kaniri?
Normally 47.1 does not attract debates. So let me allow her to read so that I'll give you a very short time to comment on both. So Senator Musuruve, statement concerning Zero Discrimination Day. Please assist her with her statement. Yeah, give her this one. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. But kindly just allow me to make a comment on the statement by Senator Haneri.
Read yours first.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 47.1 to make a statement on an issue of general topical concern on Zero Discrimination Day. Honorable Speaker, it is an annual day celebrated by the United Nations, UN, and other international organizations every 1st of March. The day aims to promote equality before the law and in practice throughout all of the member countries of the United Nations. Zero Discrimination Day highlights how people can become informed about and promote inclusion, compassion, peace, and above all, a movement for change. This day is celebrated to mark the right for everyone to live a full and productive life and live it with dignity. The theme for Zero Discrimination Day this year is remove laws that harm, create laws that empower. This theme is a continuation of last year's theme, that is End Inequalities. The Zero Discrimination Day was first celebrated on March 1st, 2014. Honorable Speaker, Throughout the globe, there are millions of people who suffer silently as a result of discrimination. There are those that live with HIV and are overtly discriminated in many ways, which affects their self-worth and dignity as human beings. In solidarity with this year's theme, UNAIDS is highlighting the urgent need to act against discriminatory laws. There are people who have cancer and some who are cancer survivors. Discrimination, even at their places of work, is real. Most of them hardly get promotions at their place of work. However hard they may work, they are viewed as employees whose lifespan is short-lived. People with disabilities are equally discriminated. In instances when they are productive, their works may not be amplified because of societal perception on PWDs. Honorable Speaker, in all these instances, such kind of discrimination deny people human rights, fundamental freedoms, and undue restrictions on how they live their lives simply because of who they are or what they do. States have a moral and legal obligation to remove discriminatory laws and to enact laws that protect people from discrimination. Everyone has a responsibility to hold states accountable, call for change, and contribute to efforts to remove discriminatory laws. Kenya is a signatory to international laws that seek to enhance human dignity and equality for all. For instance, the Convention on the Rights of Children that was adopted in 1989 and came into force in 1990, the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which Kenya signed and ratified in 2008, the Abuja Health Declaration of 2001 that seeks to ensure everyone, regardless of race, gender, ethnicity, has the highest attainable standards of health, among other laws. These laws are enshrined in the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, Article 28, 54, and 43(1) respectively, which we must all seek to defend as leaders. Honorable Speaker, as the world celebrates this day, it is important to note that women are equally discriminated in politics and governance. In many parts of the world, especially Africa, very few women have managed to rise to the very top. Many parliaments have not been able to adhere to the not more than 2/3 gender rule, and women are underrepresented in parliaments. Societal perception of women and leadership is a huge contributory factor, which is compounded with a lack of monetary component to help women secure political positions, and people with disabilities are disadvantaged more than thrice. Their physiological makeup, lack of resources, lack of adequate security, heightened by the negative societal perception, make it extremely difficult for persons with disabilities to catapult in politics and governance. Honorable Speaker, as we mark this day, I would like to urge legislators nationally and globally to make a deliberate attempt in ensuring that they take urgent action in ending all discriminatory laws and replace them with laws that foster and enhance equality and equity for all. I call upon all levels of government, both national and county, to ensure availability of opportunities and socioeconomic resources in both levels of government to enhance human dignity and promote parity among all people despite their gender, race, ethnicity, and physical or mental state. Happy belated Zero Discrimination Day, everyone. I thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Honorable Speaker, kindly.
2 minutes to comment on Senator Aniris. Then I'll give Senator Kasanga the same 2 minutes.
I can go ahead, Honorable Speaker.
2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you also for the minutes you've given me. And allow me to thank Senator Haniri for bringing on the floor of this House a very, very important, issue on trade, tourism, and all that. Honorable Speaker, when it comes to tourism and trade, it is a big national, economic revenue earner. About 40% of our revenue comes from this sector. But Honorable Speaker, in as much as it is a big economic area, we need to ask ourselves, what exactly is it for Kenyans? I remember Senator Moi came up with a local content bill. And even when we are doing our trades in terms of importing and exporting, we need to ask ourselves, what benefit is there for our youths? What benefit is there for us as Kenyans? Like, for instance, Honorable Speaker, there are things we can make as Kenya. I don't see why we import things that Kenyans themselves can make. When we buy Kenya, we make Kenya. So, Honorable Speaker, we have to really ensure that we are coming up with this agenda and making sure that it blossoms. So I hope when this issue comes, it will not come to a committee, but my honest thought is that even the ministry concerned should come before us and give us the strategies they put in place to protect, our local manufacturers, to protect Kenyans in terms of trade, Honorable Speaker, so that what can be found in Kenya should not be imported. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I congratulate Senator Haniri for this statement.
Thank you, Senator Kasanga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you, Senator Haniri, for giving us that statement and bringing forth to us to understand this imbalance in trade that is there between Kenya and Beijing, who we are bleeding a lot of our hard-earned money towards, and yet we are not getting the same out of them. And I wish actually this statement would have gone to committee, because it would have been interesting to interrogate the relevant ministry to understand what it is that they're actually doing about trying to get some fairness in this imbalance of trade. And even as we speak of how we need to empower Kenyans so that we can be more industrialized, we have to be clear on what is our foreign policy when we go into trade with foreign countries. We have to protect the interests of our country as well. So it would have been interesting to hear what the relevant ministry is doing about some of these things, and to see what policies are in place actually when it comes to protecting of Kenyans and protecting ourselves as Kenyans. The way you see China protecting its people by putting a stop to the imports of avocado is the same way we would want to see what are the steps and measures our people here in Kenya, we are being protected from any substandard, Chinese goods and things like that, because we're always having a conversation about China goods that really flood our markets and also drive our people out of business. But as we look at this, and as we look at how Kenya, we can entrench more, buy Kenya, build Kenya, let us also look into our continent. We have now the African Continental Free Trade Area agreement that 36 African countries have ratified, and Kenya being one of them. And this is an avenue for Africa as well to build itself. And we need to look at how we are going to really maximize on this sort of agreement where we can do business with our neighbors, with our partners, and make sure we make Africa more competitive on the global stage, because we can do it together. And one of the things that I was just, reading through the Africa Trade Agreement, and one of the things that comes into the fore is how we need to empower our citizens through education. And Madam Speaker, just now we were speaking about ECD and what the county governments are doing to our ECD teachers, and we are saying now that is the wrong direction that a country is taking when we don't prioritize education of our children and building of skills into our people, so that we can upscale our capacity as Kenyans, and build our capacity for trade. So I want to thank Senator Kaniri for that statement. I could have said a lot more, Madam Speaker, but I thank you.
Thank you, Senator Kithua. Ngugi Isaac.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I almost thought you've forgotten your favorite son, but thank you for the opportunity. I want to...
Nobody forgets their sons.
Thank you. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate my senior, Senator Haniri, for such a wonderful statement. And Madam Speaker, I also want to say that I also do not see sense in us importing those goods that can be locally produced. Madam Speaker, 400 billion going to one country called China is a lot of money. If this money, even a quarter of it, if we can have it circulating in our economy, can be a game changer. Madam Speaker, as it is right now, to import things or to export things to China is extremely hard. Extremely hard. Yet when we are importing their things from China, it's like we have no strict measures to protect even our people. Madam Speaker, our people, if supported well, things that we import, such as even toothpicks, things that we can ourselves produce as a country, can be something that can be something of great impact. Madam Speaker, there is one man called Mudhungu, Anthony Mudhungu. That guy has started a company that manufactures USB cables, and that guy started his business with only 1,500 Kenya shillings. That guy went to Uwezo Fund. He was given 80,000. He expanded his business. After that, now he has applied for around 800,000, and he has been given. Madam Speaker, a young man in this country has decided to be the first person to produce USB cables, yet he is not being empowered as he should be. If this man, through the relevant ministry, can be empowered, importing these substandard USB cables, and I know it's one of the biggest issues that we have, because everyone has a phone nowadays, and they have cables which you use for power bank. Those cables you use for 1 month or 2 months, and then it is off. It is destroyed and damaged. Yet some of us have been using Anthony's cables for 1 year without damage. Yet we are not supporting such people the way we should, in the manner that it should be.
Please allow 1 minute for my favorite son.
Thank you. Therefore, Madam Speaker, we need to ensure that we encourage these people, those, especially the young people, because he's a young man, very innovative. If we can empower him, and then when he has the capacity, say there is nothing that there will not be having anybody importing what can be locally produced. And Madam Speaker, also this speaks to issues of loyalty. A week ago, I met a certain lady, beautiful dress, and I told her, I love your dress. It must be made from Kenya. And she said, no, this is an import from US. I don't wear anything that is locally produced. Meaning, even as our people, we do not believe in ourselves. That's why even KFC have the audacity to import potatoes when locally produced potatoes are rotting in the farm. And then we buy at a very expensive, at a very high cost. These are the things, Honorable Speaker, we should look into moving forward. I thank you.
Senator Gorit Juma, Wario.
Asante Speaker kwa kunipatia nafasi. Mr. Speaker, naunga mkono statement ya Senior Kaniri. Kwa kweli, hakika sisi kukuza mali yetu kama wa Kenya na pia talanta zetu ndani ya Kenya ni kitu muhimu kuliko kuleta vitu kutoka nje. Hasa biashara nyingi imekuwa ni biashara ya watu wa kutoka nje, hasa wa China katika nchi ya Kenya. Na kwa kweli vile seneta mwenzangu alivyosema, sisi pia wa Kenya tumeingia katika ubumbuazi ya akili ya kwamba vitu vya Kenya ni vitu ambavyo havifai. Ndio kwa sababu wengine wanasema hawezi vaa nguo ambazo zinatoka Kenya mpaka wavae nguo za nje. Kwa hivyo kukuza talanta zetu na biashara yetu ndani ya Kenya, na pia kuinua maisha ya Wakenya, hasa wale ambao wanafanya biashara ndogo ndogo, na kuuza pia mali ya Kenya ndani ya Kenya, itakuwa ni desturi kubwa na pia itakuwa ni ya manufaa kubwa kuliko sisi tuangalie ya kwamba vitu vya Kenya na talanta za Kenya na biashara ya Kenya ni vitu ambavyo ni duni na tuweze kuweka vitu za China. Ndio kwa sababu unaona wa China wameleta biashara zile kubwa kubwa wamezishikilia mpaka siku hizi wanataka kuuza hata mandazi ndani ya Kenya. Kwa hivyo mimi ninaunga mkono statement ambayo imetolewa na Senior Khaniri. Asante kwa kunipatia nafasi.
Thank you, Senator Juma. We commit that statement to Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industrialization. Next statement. Senator Kasanga.
Mr. Speaker, if you'll just indulge me a little to give a bit of background to my statement, I'll just take a minute. This came to my attention from some of the stakeholders who work closely with NACADA, which is the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse. And Mr. Speaker, the statement today refers to standards that were created, standards for care that were created by NACADA. And they had two sets of standards. They had standards that were created in 2009, and they developed minimum standards of care, and they did this with proper consultation with industry players, and they incorporated several process points that ensured adequate public participation had been done in the creation of those standards. And Mr. Speaker, it looks like those standards were revised in 2021, and there's not enough proof to suggest that there was adequate public participation that was undertaken in creation of these new standards. And Mr. Speaker, we have said it over and above in this house here that public participation is not a privilege. It is a significant part of the processes that happen as per our Constitution, and because of this, I raise this statement. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 48-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health regarding the alleged lack of engagement of stakeholders in the development of the Kenya standards on management of persons with substance use disorders by the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NACADA. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1. Explain the process that was followed during the development of the Kenya standards on management of persons with substance use disorders. 2. Provide details of the people and organizations involved as stakeholders as outlined in Section 5 of the National Authority for Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse Act, and whether the said organizations are qualified to develop the standards. And 3. Explain why the Rehab Owners Association, the International Society of Substance Use Prevention and Treatment Professionals Kenya, that is ISSUP Kenya, the International Society of Substance Use Prevention and Treatment Professionals,
fund, Honorable Speaker. I also want to urge the county's Honorable Speaker to be much more innovative. Honorable Speaker, it looks like most counties just sit and wait for the share from the national government. Yet some of these counties have immense opportunities that they can take advantage of and start generating revenue. Honorable Speaker, it's a high time our counties wake up, our county governors concentrate on innovative ideas so that in the future this country can celebrate counties that will be generating even much more revenue than that which comes from the national government, Honorable Speaker. And this is possible. We are here complaining about high prices of things like fertilizers, Honorable Speaker. We have not had any county or county governor coming up with an idea of how they can develop small-scale industries of production of fertilizer and start supplying to other counties. Yet, these are things that are doable, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, it's a high time that our counties start focusing